Homesteading, and today we're going to be thinning out our tomato plants. About 4 weeks ago we started the tomato plants inside, and we planted more than one seed per pot to make sure that we have good coverage and everyone germinates. And they have germinated and they have grown very well. I'm super happy with it. We use the Pro Mix organic soil, and you know what, I think that actually does make a bit of a difference with the good soil. And on top of it, we use the bigger pots from the Dollar Tree. And one thing I did notice with this pots this size, it is way easier to keep the ground moist. I really do feel with these bigger pots, they're definitely worth getting them and using them, because I feel you get a lot better result from the bigger pots. The plants are healthier and they just seem to germinate pretty quick and everything. I find the little pots, they just seem to struggle longer. You can never keep enough water in them to keep them moist all the time. These are so much easier. So with the bigger pots and the Pro Mix, I think my tomato plants are much better this year. But today we're gonna have to thin them out, because if you leave them crowded like this, they will just crowd out each other. So, you know, I probably should have thinned them out earlier than this, but you know what? Today we're gonna do it. If you look at them, they are doing absolutely awesome. Very healthy and nice color. These were a little farther away from the light, and they seem to take a little bit longer to grow. These are doing much better, so I'm gonna switch these around a little bit from the light and try to give these a little bit of a boost. So what you want to do is cut all the plants that seem to be less healthy or a little smaller, and you leave one single plant that is really healthy. See, if you don't thin them out, each one of these plants take away from the other. So if you don't thin them out, it'll eventually stunt them. Like, see, this one here has a really nice plant right here. So we're gonna clip off the other ones. I really hate doing this because it seems like you're just cutting plants off, and it just seems like a waste. But really, if you don't do this, it will stunt the other plants. And if you don't plant more than one seed in each pot, you can't be guaranteed that all of them will germinate, and then you'll have an empty pot. So you really do need to plant more than one seed in each pot to get a good amount of germination. So I'm gonna put these tomato plants back under the lights, and we're gonna show you a little bit of an update on the rest of the plants. Here is the setup. Here's the tomato plants. I got my pinkish grow lights here. I added an extra light right there, and I think that made a big difference. So the tomatoes did good. All my cantaloupe and watermelon and green peppers, I thought they were going to be just a plain old write-off. I kept watering them, nothing happened. And I was getting worried about it. And then next thing you know, they started growing. There's a few sprouts, so I think they're going to come. They're just super long to actually sprout. And as you can see, it's hard to keep the soil as wet as it is in the bigger pot. So I think that makes a big difference in germinating, and my house is a little bit cooler. So that's kind of a good sign. I see a lot of sprouting happening, so this is going to be great. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 green peppers up, and I don't know, there's another one there. These are my cherry tomatoes. My cherry tomatoes, I planted them just a little bit later, so I feel like my seed starting has done very well this year. Here's a quick little update on my sweet potatoes. One sweet potato has sprouted very good. They've made lots and lots of roots in the water, and the other ones haven't even sprouted. I don't know. And the ones I did in the dirt haven't even attempted to sprout, so I have no idea if any of them are going to work, but At least we're gonna get quite a few slips off this sweet potato. So that is how my seed starting indoors with the Pro Mix turned out. This is about a month in. I think they're doing really good. So probably this week I'll start putting my plants outside, get a little bit of natural sunlight. You do have to watch out that you don't put them in direct sunlight right away. You'll stunt the growth of your plants. It's just too much of a shock for them. So I call my seed starting a success. You know what? I should learn from previous years, but I seem to just do the same thing sometimes. My green peppers, cucumbers, and all those kinds of things, they pretty much need to be pre-sprouted on a plate with a paper towel and water, and then plant them. Because you can keep it a little bit warmer, try to keep that warmer. But I just planted them in the pots again, and it took a month for them to actually germinate. So you know what? They're a little bit behind. They're going to be faster than just planting them straight in the garden, but they're starting to come up now. We're going to make sure they stay moist, keep them going, and I would call it success. The sweet potatoes, I have no idea what in the world they're doing. One is sprouting super, the rest aren't doing anything, so I'm hoping they're going to start at some point. So that's about enough for today, and you guys are good.